Welcome once again to M5's English language learning programme, Let's Speak English. I'm Gav Duncan and I'm here on your TV to help you learn English. Now, are you sitting comfortably? Yes? Good. And are you ready for today's lesson? Yes? Good. Okay, well let's learn English together. And hello again, people. Welcome to the best day of the week. Yes, people, it's that day again. Friday has once more graced us with its presence. It's here, it's there, it's all around the place. Sitting, simmering, gaining in strength. Waiting for that time later on tonight where it'll throw up its overcoat and reveal the glad rags that it's got on. Yes, but as we all know, that's later, not now. If we ask Friday to show us what it's wearing at this early hour, then it's probably something very uninspiring. A pair of brown corduroy trousers, some horribly comfortable shoes like the ones my old piano teacher used to wear, and a shirt that should have been burnt at the stake. So it's not ready yet. And well, if we were to ask Friday to start behaving like Friday now, then we'd just be disappointed, wouldn't we? Yes, we know that Friday needs its time to get ready to become Friday. Friday isn't fantastic all of the time. It takes Friday some time to turn into Friday. For a start, it has to put on some makeup, get changed, as we know, into its glad rags, its going out clothes, and then, and only then, can we expect Friday to act like Friday. So, patience, people. Patience. Just give it some more time, all right? And as you all know, we've got some vocabulary to finish anyway. So we've got things to occupy our time. We've got something to keep us busy while we're waiting. And so, with no further ado, if you're all ready, you are all ready, aren't you? Yes? Good. Well then, let's see where we got up to yesterday, shall we? So, what's next? Pertinent. Easy. This is just a synonym for relevant. So, when you go for a job interview, for a job as the manager of a computer shop, you expect the interviewer to ask pertinent questions. Questions about your experience, qualifications, which computer you use, and what the difference is between the ZX81 and the Commodore 64. Those sorts of things. If the interviewer starts asking whether you prefer rap music to 1970s glam rock, then well, that would be confusing. That information isn't relevant. Those questions aren't pertinent. That information has got nothing to do with the job you're applying for. So, pertinent, relevant, suitable, appropriate. Next. Aha. To snap at someone. Well, first of all, let's think about the verb to snap. The verb to snap means to break suddenly and completely. And when something snaps, it normally happens with a sharp, cracking sound, like when Richie's legs break in this clip.
No, one!
Happy birthday, Richie! Break a leg!
Ooh, that looked uncomfortable, didn't it? So anyway, when something snaps, as we just saw, it breaks with a sharp sound. If I snap a pencil, then we can see and hear the same thing, can't we? Ah! Ha ha! All right, now take that idea and run with it a little bit. Now, when we're talking about someone snapping at us, we're not talking about a physical idea, but a mental idea. This is the idea that someone suddenly, quickly, sharply turns on you. This person suddenly speaks to you in a very aggressive way. This person loses their temper with you, and instead of speaking to you normally, this person loses their self-control and says something to you quickly and irritably. All right, now something less aggressive. Well, yes and no. To wind someone up. Originally, this came from the idea of the verb to wind a clock or a watch up, to turn the little dial on the side of a watch, or to put a key into the hole in a clock face and turn the key to wind the clock. Now, if we do that, if we put a key into the keyhole and wind the clock, or if we do the same thing with a mechanical watch like this one, almost, if we wind the watch, then we have to ask the question, why are we doing this? Okay, but the answer's simple, isn't it? Yes. If the clock isn't powered by a battery, if the watch isn't a quartz watch, then how does the watch or clock keep time? Yes, There's a spring inside, and we tighten that spring, and then over time the spring unwinds and releases energy. The energy which makes the hands of the watch or clock move, the energy which makes the clock work, which makes the clock keep time. Okay, so that's the original idea. Now follow me closely here and think about the idea of that spring being wound up. The spring has got lots of energy trapped inside it. All of that energy is held inside the spring. The more we wind the spring, the more energy we force inside it, the more pressure and strain we put into the coils of the spring. Okay, so take that idea and transfer it to a person. What do you think we do when we wind someone up? Yes, that's right. We do the same thing to them as we do to a clock or watch spring. We increase the tension. So, there are normally two reasons for this happening. We might be playing a joke on this person. Perhaps we phone them up and pretend to be someone famous, and we're all listening and laughing at them. But we could also just be making them angry and tense. Here, it's not so sure that this is deliberate. If something winds you up, your boss at work, the people you work with, then it's probably not a joke, but the fact that you don't like working with them. They make you angry. So, there are two ideas. One is the sort of thing we see on TV a lot. There was an American TV series called Candid Camera, which did this. They filmed people secretly while someone was winding them up. And then they showed the person that it was just a joke and ha ha ha, everyone had a good laugh. Okay, so that's the one where someone winds us up. The other one, the one which isn't a joke, is the situation where something makes us tense and angry, something which makes you irritated. If you work in a shop and everyone who comes in asks you a silly question, then this will probably wind you up. By the end of the day, you'll be as tense as a tightly wound spring, ready to release all of that energy, probably by snapping at the next person who asks you a silly question. So, we can wind someone up, and hopefully, when we tell them that it was a joke, they'll laugh too, and then we can all have a good laugh together. But if someone or something wound someone up, then it might be a good idea to keep out of their way. Wait for them to calm down. You don't want them to snap at you, do you? Okay, and now, what's next? Well, it's what happens in the other direction. When we're wound up, when we're tense, when we've had a hard week or day, when we're full of nervous energy, when we're like an unstable bomb waiting to explode, what do we need to do? Yes, that's right. Just as the spring slowly releases the tension we cause by winding it, we need to do the same thing. We need to release the tension we've got inside of us. We need to relax. Just like a spring, we need to unwind. That's what it means. What do we do at the end of the day or at the weekend? Yes, we unwind. We relax. We take it easy to let the tension and stress flow away. Why do we go on holiday? Yes, because the tension in our lives is getting too much. So we take a few days off work. We forget about our work problems. We forget about the fact that half the people who work with us are congenital idiots who like embarrassing music. We try not to concentrate on things connected to our everyday life. We try to let our minds wander and think of new things. We unwind. We relax. We do what springs do. Now, what's next? Oh, this one's easy. To irritate. Two main meanings. One physical and one which we've just seen. So, the physical one first. If something irritates a part of your body, then it causes an inflammation and discomfort. Think about when a bee or a wasp stings you. What happens? Yes, your skin becomes inflamed and it itches or hurts. This is because the poison in the sting is irritating your skin. Perhaps you buy a new antiperspirant, but then you have to throw it away. One of the chemicals in it causes a skin irritation. Your armpits turn red and you have a burning sensation. It feels like your armpits are on fire. The chemical in the antiperspirant causes a skin irritation. So, that's the physical idea. What about the idea of something or someone irritating you? Well, in that case, they wind you up. They make you annoyed or a little bit angry. Think about what happens when someone calls you, but they've made a mistake. They've dialed the wrong number, and they're looking for someone else. What do? Yes, that's right. You tell them politely that they've got the wrong number. Okay, But what happens when this person keeps on phoning back, looking for the same person, the person who doesn't have your number? You've already told them this. You've told them more than once. So what happens? Yes, you start to get irritated. This person is irritating you. They're making you annoyed. They're starting to make you angry. They're irritating you. You're irritated. Like this guy.
Hello? No, you got the wrong number. Yeah, but ain't no Thelma here, man. Yeah. I'm coming! What? Man, ain't no Thelma here. What? Ain't no f***ing Thelma here, man. Look, the don't live here.
Okay, let's leave that guy alone. Let's keep out of his way. He's pretty wound up. Next, a problem shared is a problem halved. A proverb, or an idiom, or a phrase, I don't know. But what I do know is what it means. It means that if you tell someone what your problem is, if you don't bottle everything up, if you share that information, if you tell someone what's troubling you, then that problem will decrease in size. Tell someone, let them know what's wrong, and they'll probably try to help. And then, well, then you'll feel as though the problem has been halved. It's not as troubling as it was. All right, what's next? To keep up? Well, this is a simple one too. To keep up with someone or something is to move or progress at the same speed as someone. If I go running with Usain Bolt, then I can't keep up with him. He's too fast. And we can have the same thing with a mental idea. Just like when Enid said it to me. Do try and keep up. What did she mean? Well, she was telling a story and I kept on interrupting. She thought my interruptions were silly, that I was having difficulty in following her story. So she was telling me to pay more attention, to concentrate more and follow her like a hawk, that's all. And now, to lose the thread. Well, what's a thread? Well, one meaning for thread is the thin cotton string we use when we sew. When we connect two pieces of material using a needle and a thread, then we need two important items. A needle, one of those long, thin bits of metal with a hole at the less pointy end. But that's only half of the story. We also need some thread, some cotton string to connect the things we want to connect. Stuff like this. Okay, that's easy. But what if we lose the thread? Well then, in that case, we can't continue, can we? And from that idea, we get the idea of to lose the thread, which means that we can't follow what someone is saying, or sometimes we can't remember what we were going to say. We've lost the thread. If you're listening to someone telling a very complicated story, it might be very easy for you to lose the thread of what they're saying. And if you interrupt them, they might get wound up because you made them forget what they were going to say. Because of you, they've lost the thread. Okay, have we got enough time for the last two? I don't think that we do. Oh well, never mind. We'll run through those on Monday. It's that time, once again, people. Time for us to wrap things up. Time for us to shut up shop for the weekend. Time for me to rush off home and have a coffee. And time for you to get your chores out of the way in anticipation of this evening. So, do the dishes, hoover the rooms, wash something. And then, when you've cleared the decks, then hit the shower. In, water, hot, soap, clean, shampoo, mind your eyes, then out of the shower, onto the bath mat. Towel yourself dry and blast your armpits with antiperspirant. It's no good looking wonderful in your glad rags if you smell like a homeless dinosaur's armpit, is it? No. So, deal with your armpits, and then get dressed and hit the town. Have fun, people. Have as much fun as you can handle. I'll see you all on Monday. See you later. www.mediaclick.hu. Bye.